see on your screen that today we are going to conduct a webinar and a student training program on robotics. So student, first of all, let me introduce what is the MVP RSM E-Yantra. Students, robotics is the trending field in today's world, and you know that there is a vast knowledge there in the field of robotics, and every branch, every field or the every trade has the knowledge of robotic, but we have to study it, we have to implement it. Students, you know that in our polytechnic, that is MVP is Rajarshi Shahu Maharaj Polytechnic, we run total 5 branches: mechanical engineering, computer technology, electronics and telecommunication, information technology, and the electrical engineering. So you will say that robotics is related to only electronics. It is not the case. Students, robotics is the field which is a collaboration of mechanical, computer, information technology, electronics and telecommunication, and electrical engineering. So today you have to learn that your branch is related to which topic of robotics. Friends, if you say about mechanical engineering, the ergonomy of robot, aesthetic of robot, design of robot, all these things are related to the robotics for mechanical engineering students. Computer and information technology student, you know that software or the firmware is the basic unit which runs any automatic device. So how to create algorithm, how to create a program, and how to load that program in a particular automatic device, that things are there in the field of robotics which are related to the computer and information technology. Electronics and telecommunication, obviously all the circuitries, all the automatic actuators, sensors part of robotics is related to the electronics and telecommunication student. And obviously any locomotive device which runs from one point to another point, that requires the battery operated circuit. So battery requirement is the most important thing in the field of robotics. So electrical engineering requires the knowledge of battery, correct? So students, the most important thing here you have to learn, that is the basics of robotics. Now students, next page. Hence, MVP's Rajarshi Shahu Maharaj Polytechnic decided to form a team which will run the robotic lab in our polytechnic. So for that polytechnic robotic lab, we have formed one team which have member of all departments. So I, Professor N.A. Gade, the team leader of E-Yantra team from Electronics and Telecommunication Department. My team members are Professor P.N. Patil from Computer Department, Professor S.S. Kide from Information Technology Department, and Professor M.S. Avare from Mechanical Engineering Department. And obviously, he is going to make cooperation for the Electrical Department as well. Next slide. So what is E-Yantra? Student, central government, that is MHRDA department, has started a new concept E-Yantra. It is run by the Indian Institute of Technologies, that is IITs. Students, we have set up a lab, E-Yantra Robotic Lab, along with the IIT Bombay. This lab runs under the IIT Bombay. At the time of your admission, we have told many of our students that in our polytechnic we run the robotic laboratory. I think in Nasik district, we are the only polytechnic which has the robotic lab. I'm going to show you the robot which we have with us. The main idea behind the E-Yantra robotic lab is that to get introduce our student about robotics, how the robot runs, how the innovative concepts can be implemented in the robotics, so that all basic concepts, all basic knowledge is given to our students from first year to the last year. Initially, in the first year, we are going to deliver the basic fundamental knowledge to the students. In second year, in second year syllabus, we are going to give the micro project related topic to our students. And in last year, few of our last year projects will be under the eYantra robotic lab. So in this way, we are going to run our robotic laboratory. Next slide. Now students, there are many type of robots are there. You know that your ATM machine from where you draw money, you know how it works. You go first there, you access your cards, you access your PIN, and then if money is present in your account, then you can withdraw it by some amount, correct? So that ATM is nothing but the robot. So similarly, many robots are there that you see daily in your life, but we have with us the educational purpose robot, that is the Firebird 5 robot. This robot is manufactured by the Next Robotics, which is located in Mumbai. Next Robotic develops the educational robots Firebird 5, Firebird 6, the Spark 5, Spark 6. Likewise, many robots and accessories of that robots are manufactured by Next Robotic. You can visit that website also. You can order your personal robot also. But along with us, we have educational robot, that is a Firebird 5. So this Firebird 5, which is there on your camera screen, you can see that this robot, the same robot you are going to see on your website also. So this robot, as you can see, it is circular in shape. Its dimension is circular in shape. Why it is designed so? There is one reason behind it, that when this robot makes some locomotive actions, this robot, when it reaches to some hurdle, then this robot should not get halted or stopped by some obstacle. So because of that, the shape of this robot is like this. If I turn on this robot, you can see there are very indicative displays over this robot. You can see the 16:2 LCD, various LEDs are there. Below to this robot, bottom to this robot, you have the motors as well as the sensors. There are many sensors which are located on this robot. So all these sensors, all these actuators, all these indicative switches and LEDs and buzzer, all these things you have to learn on this Firebird 5, which is an educational robot. So this Firebird 5 is the robot, basic robot, educational robot that you are going to learn under this robotic laboratory and the facility that MVP's Rajarshi Shahu Maharaj Polytechnic is providing to you. So student, you have to understand the basic concept of this robot. Next. So the same robot which I have shown you on the screen also, as you can see the front view of this robot Firebird 5, as well as side view, as well as bottom view. On the front view, you can see various LEDs, bar graphs, 7-segment displays, as well as 16:2 LCD display. The switches are there, which are acting as a input as well as output devices. From the side view, you can see there are the actuators, wheels are there, as well as the infrared sensors are there, which are used for the purpose of locomotive actions. And from the bottom view, you can see that there are white line sensor, as well as the caster wheel is there, as well as 2 yellow color wheels are there, which are attached to the motor. You can move your motor or the robot by particular distance so that the destination can be reached with a precise time as well as precise distance. So this Firebird 5 has the cost of worth rupees 39,000, and this robot is there in our robotic laboratory, and it is available for the student for the free of cost. We are providing knowledge to the student. You can perform practicals over this robot, as well as you can perform the programming on this robot with no additional cost. But just you must have some vision, you must have some basic technical knowledge, and you must have some dedication towards this new field. So I'm giving this information about Firebird 5 to you for the first year, because you must get acquainted with this robot and you must have some knowledge regarding this robot. So that's why we are having this skill development program today. Next slide. So dimension of Firebird 5. As you can see, this robot has diameter of 16 centimeter, height of 8.5 centimeter, total weight around 1 kg. Its top speed is about 24 centimeter per second. Its wheel diameter, that yellow wheel you have seen, it is 51 mm. The position encoder has 30 pulses per revolution, and its resolution per position encoder teeth is around 5.4 mm for precise movement of this robot. So you must get acquainted with this dimension of Firebird 5, because whenever you are designing something, you must have knowledge of dimension, or you must design some robot which has a particular dimension, because it must fit the application. That's why for any device, the dimensions of any device is very important constraint. Next slide. What are the mountings are there on Firebird 5? So particularly the major sensors I have listed over here. If you see the bottom side of your Firebird 5, the name of that robot is Firebird 5. The 3 white line sensors are there, which I have shown over here. As you can see, these 3 white line sensors are there. Why these 3 white line sensors are required? Because whenever you are designing any application which require your robot to move in particular path, so there you will plant your white line, and that white line will be followed by the white line sensor robot. So because of that, there is a requirement of white line sensors. One sharp infrared range sensor, which is required for the distance calculation between obstacle and the robot. 8 analog IR proximity sensor. These sensors will detect the obstacle which is there in all 4 directions of the robot. Then 2 position encoders. These position encoders are required for the movement of robot for a particular distance only. If you have to move your robot for 10 centimeter only, then this 10 centimeter of movement can be calculated using this position encoder. For each wheel, one position encoder is fitted. Then battery voltage sensor. We know that our mobile also has the battery indicator. It shows that how much battery is remaining before draining it off. So battery voltage sensor is required, because this robot has battery, 12 volt battery fitted over it, so that this robot can operate its input output devices as well as the motors. So that's why there is a requirement of this battery sensor. Then the TSOP remote control decoder is there. You can operate this robot by using your TV remote also. So for that purpose, there is a TSOP IC which is fitted over this robot, by using which you can control your robot wirelessly also. Then the ultrasonic range sensor is optional. You can fit it externally so that you can calculate the exact or precise distance between any obstacle and your robot. As well as some hardware also fitted over this robot. The main part of your robot is your microcontroller Atmega 2560. It is nothing but the brain of your robot, which executes the program and which decides the action to be performed after the current ongoing action. The indicators are there, 16:2 LCD, bar graph LED, motherboard is there, daughter board is there. As we know that there are many sensors which are located on the motherboard. So some accessories to be fitted externally, that accessories are fitted on this daughter board. Then 2 DC motors are there. Then rechargeable battery is there. USB to serial converter is there. Battery charger is also provided with this robot. Serial cable is there. USB cable is there. Buzzer is there. And 2 switches are there. One is reset switch and one is boot switch. So function of each part is will be elaborated by my team members. So Next slide. As you can see, whatever hardware and accessories we have seen in previous slide, all these fittings are there on this figure. You can see in figure number 1, you can see the where microcontroller is located, where the adapter is located, where are the drivers are located, where is the switch is located, encoder where is located. In figure number 2, you can see the motor position, wheel position, your positional encoder, caster wheel, again the white line sensor. In figure number 3, you can see the battery connections are there. For charging purpose, one slot is given. You can run your robot on your auxiliary power also. Without using the battery power, you can directly run your robot on your auxiliary power also by turning it on AC directly, a mains AC supply which is there in your house. Next slide. As you can see, this is the Atmega 2560 microcontroller, which is of about 114 pin, out of which the 96 pins are accessible to the user. Total 6 ports are there. You can use this 6 port from a port A to G. There are total ports are there. This is the most important component for electronics and telecommunication students, because you are going to study the microcontrollers and the processor in upcoming subjects in second year and third year. How to use the embedded program, how to create that program, how to embed that program in your microcontroller. All these things are to be learned to the electronics and telecommunication student. The number of sensors are there, number of device you can connect to the microcontroller, to the pins of the AVR, that is Atmega 2560. So like our brain is there which creates the commands and which executes the commands, similarly your AVR microcontroller is there in your robot which takes the action, which generates the command, and all these commands are executed by the AVR, and specific task and specific action is performed by the robot. So AVR Atmega 2560 is nothing but the brain of your robot. Similarly, your Atmega 8 microcontroller is also present on daughter board for controlling some accessories which will be fitted on this robot. So accessories can be also fitted on this robot also. Next slide. Features of this Atmega 2560. Why this 2560 microcontroller is fitted on this robot? The main reasons are that 2 8-bit timer and counter with separate prescaler and compare mode are also available. 4 16-bit timers and counters with separate prescaler, real-time counter with separate oscillator. This almost runs on 14 megahertz frequency, because this frequency is very high frequency, means within a microsecond it execute one command. So this speed is very high speed. Generally we calculate our time in millisecond, but this microcontroller works or execute the commands in microsecond, means within a microsecond the robot can perform various tasks. So because of that, this microcontroller is fitted on this robot. Then the 4 8-bit PWM channels are there. Why these PWM channels are there and why there is a need to generate PWM, that you are going to study in the next presentation also. For controlling motors, there is a requirement of pulse width modulation channels. That's why 4 8-bit PWM channels can be generated by using Atmega 2560. Then the ADC, 10-bit ADC is there. 10-bit ADC is used because of that the resolution of the sensor is very high. Then 2 to 4 programmable serial UARTs are there. Then master slave SPI serial interface is there. On chip analog comparators are there, and interrupt pin changes are also there. So all these major features of Atmega is there, which are different from the smaller versions of Atmega IC. So because of this feature, we are using the Atmega 2560 for the robot Firebird 5. So this robot that I have introduced to you, you have a lot more to think over it, and you have a lot more innovative concept you can do on this robot. Actually, this concept is given to us by our principal, Dr. D. Bufade sir, that we must have robotic laboratory in our college, and you must give knowledge to our students so that they will get extra benefit as an engineering student. So you must be thankful to our principal also, because of him, we got encouragement to create this e-Yantra robotic lab, as well as we have created the team which are having the members of all department, and we can give knowledge to all department students. So be present over here and get acquainted with the programming knowledge, sensor knowledge, as well as the aesthetic knowledge. So thank you, and I'm handing over my session